but we want to make that you can go back and watch just in case. So with that being said, Joseph Dyro, wonderful medium, and thank you for being here. Anything you want to let folks know about some patterns? I know they're planetarily next week. There's a lot going on, something with where Mars is, or I don't even know what, but there's a lot of energy going on right now, and it's kind of coming to a fever pitch, isn't it?
Yes, mostly because Pluto's been in retrograde, and the very end of last month,
Mhm.
Saturn went retrograde. Pluto is the planet that ends things, ends patterns, ends situations. When Saturn goes retrograde, Saturn's a planet of planning, and once Saturn goes retrograde, it's like no more planning. You're doing it, no matter what, whether you want to or not. You're doing it, doing the thing. And in addition to that, the pull we've been getting in just our cosmos is just now is the time to accomplish whatever it is we put in our minds. Even just the thought of it, maybe we weren't that serious, but the universe is like, here you go. You had the thought, it's going to be in front of you to make it work, to make it happen. And everyone's being called up to accomplish whatever that is.
Mhm.
Also now, because like Pluto's in retrograde, things are ending. Like relationships are ending, situations ending, whatever negative aspects were hanging around are being forced to go away. So that's the unpleasantries. And because it's not always pleasant to have the negative leave,
Mhm.
because it's something we're used to. But that's the craziness. And yes, Mars is doing a thing next week, and I'm trying to think of dates. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I'll yell it out later if it comes back. But when Mars is doing, I think it's squaring another planet, and I know Venus is going to be squaring
It's
squaring
between the
I think
14th and
Saturn.
the 20th, that
Thank
week.
you.
I think that is what I just heard moments before this Zoom.
Thank
So
you.
that's why it's fresh in my brain.
Cool. Thank
Hmm.
you. Because
Hmm.
when Mars is a planet of action, so if you thought this was active now, it's going to get worse. I mean, in a good way, but it's gonna be amplified. Maybe that's the better way to say it. So
Hmm.
just to be aware, you can't exactly prepare for this. It's just to be aware that we're all just being pressed forward to accomplish what it is we want to accomplish,
Hmm.
and not. It's also the inspiration, because Mars is also a planet of inspiration to give us. All right, we thought about it, we need to make the change now in order to continue on living, a happy, healthy experience.
Hmm.
And spirit's pushing us. Whatever our thoughts were, it's like we're doing it with you. And again, you had the thought. That's all we cared about. We're making it happen in
Uh-huh.
some shape or form. So it's whatever you asked for, whatever you thought about, good or bad, it's coming.
Got it. And remember, thoughts become things. And so it's really important to keep an eye on those loops that we have in our brains. If we just decide, you know what, I'm choosing a different frequency. I am not going to keep going back down to this low vibe, shame, fear, trauma, because fear and love are in different floors of the building. Okay. They cannot coexist. So you have to decide if you're going to be at love and above, the David Hawkins scale of numbers, numbers for emotions. Love is at 500. Shame, I think, is like 20. So you don't want to be, because you can't cohabitate with your fear and your shame and your love and your joy. They just are not neighbors. So choose which one you want to have more in your frequency, in your home, and more will show up. That's the thing, because like attracts like. And so that is the simplest recipe. If things are not going well in your life, look around. What kind of low frequency people, places, thoughts are you, in community with? That's just bringing in more residue. So choose wisely your thoughts, your friends, your belief systems, and even the people you have over. Like 4th of July, I know a couple people that were like, "Oh, I want to come over," and I was like, "Ooh," my radar was like, "Ah." You just know because we're all in this Zoom are empaths. We all have some sort of, kind of wiring, and empaths feel the room before they enter it. It's like, the blind with a stick. They're literally feeling the room before they even walk in to see kind of so they can be prepared. And that's hard. It's really hard to function when you're feeling the room before you enter it. So be conscious of who you let in your room. Stephanie, so good to see you. I just saw that Stephanie came in. Awesome.
And I do have a little feng shui tip for everybody right
Yes,
now and all this
please.
craziness, because in addition to all this stuff that I do, I'm a feng shui consultant.
Hmm.
So something you can do right now is either buy like a nice green plant or a bunch of flowers to have in the middle of the house, living room, dining room. If your kitchen happens to be in the middle, just somewhere in the middle of the house, because what that represents is life energy, growth, and just honestly, flowers are things that makes people joyful and happy. To have the visual cue every time you come downstairs, is something needed right now. So as I said, it doesn't have to be flowers, could be a nice green plant, but just something. And I'm not intending to make everyone go run to the store right now and buy something. But if you want to or think it's a good idea, that's the simple suggestion is calling life into your space.
Perfect.
Life in abundance.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. You already did it.
I got one right here, but I'm looking at it and literally as I look at it, what it's doing is it's raising my frequency because every time I look at the flowers, they make me smile. And so that's basically a ping pong game of frequency of smiles. So for $10, you can basically raise the frequency of a room if you have a favorite flower. And that is the best $10 you can ever spend because you cannot see the frequency, but you can feel it and everybody else can feel it too. So just make conscious notes of that. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start in the order that you all signed up. Everybody gets their time with Joseph. And like I said, please pick a topic, but keep an ear out for all the messages, the parallel messages, either a person, Joseph is so great because he both does psychic stuff and he can talk to your dead people. So pick a person in spirit that you'd like to commune with. But please, 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 I know every time I say this, we still have people to say, just tell me what my guides want me to know. And it just is faster and easier for Joseph to tune into your energy with a topic. So pick a topic and your guides might change the topic, but that helps him get right. It's like he picks up the phone then to your phone line. That's what it does. And they might change the subject on you, but at least then he doesn't have to fish for the phone line. I don't want you to waste 1 second. And you don't also have to give Joseph too much of the backstory. Just, say, should I move to Arizona? Should I change jobs? Can I talk to my dead dad? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, will spend like 5 minutes of backstory and then they only have 4 minutes left with, you know what I'm saying? So we don't want you to waste your time
Yes.
getting the messages by giving the backstory, if that makes sense. So, all right, enough housekeeping. Stephanie, it's great to have you and everybody here. So with that, Kathleen, you were the first quick draw McGraw to sign up. So go ahead, unmute yourself and welcome.
Hi.
Hello, Kathleen.
Hi. Um, so what happened with you today, Jen, is I had a similar thing today with my husband, because he's definitely got a lot of health issues going on. And we went for a teeth cleaning and he couldn't breathe. And he was having a real hard time breathing. And so he ended up, we didn't get the cleaning and we went to the hospital. We did get a chest x-ray. He does have a lot of health stuff. And this was on the agenda to get done, but we just got it done. So I'm concerned about him. There's a lot. He's supposed to have surgery in 2 weeks for a leg issue.
Mhm.
So there's a lot going on. And the funny thing about the flowers is I did go buy flowers and put them the other day where I walk in my house. It's right there in the hallway. So
Perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
I'm on that same, like, I need to feel something good when I come in.
Love it.
Your husband needs flowers as well, and I know that's not often usually a guy thing, but some guys appreciate it. But
He loves
you don't
flowers.
you don't have I was gonna say you don't have to tell him, but yes, he needs flowers. He needs a little pick me up. That's again, that's so let's say that's a low key message. That's like
Mhm.
not so obvious.
Yeah.
There's also a mother energy that's so much wants to speak loudly. To listening
Oh,
to the
both our mothers are up there. So
so great because your mother then because
yeah,
I'm like differentiate please.
it's my mother.
Because but she says, you always have like the backup plan in your head. Because
Mhm.
she says, she's got like 5 backup plans to like what to do with you and him and blah blah blah. He's fine, by the way. This is not, I mean, he's got issues to overcome. I do feel like he's gonna have blood clotting. So
Mhm.
doctors need to, I mean, whether or not they're aware of it, they need to deal with this. Because that's going to be a problem. A lot of, let's see, I see a lot of blood too. And I know I said blood clotting, but that's all spirit showing me. And things and issues with his lungs, but all this that I tell you can be mended, can be fixed. And I was talking about the flowers, so I don't want him feeling like, oh my God, am I falling apart? Because he's not. This is just, let's just say, he needs to get out some negative stuff, and while everything's like in the universe is reinventing itself, he needs to do the same thing.
Okay.
But think of it as we're just, we walk through a dark part of the forest, and we'll get out of it, we'll get back into the open field with the sun shining very very soon. I just feel like it's going to take a few months. I'll say
Mhm.
before you see the open meadow, and that's okay because you'll get through it. And I love your mom because she's right to the point in my head. She's very specific because she's just like,
Okay,
Joe.
good. I need to hear it.
But she says, you already do a wonderful job. So she says, Joe, tell her to stop asking, like, what am I supposed to do? Because she says, you already know what to do. You already know what to do with him. You already know what to do with yourself. You know that you're the calm one for the both of you, and you have your plans, you have your post-it notes, and you have them, she says, you have them all over the place, if not literally all over the place in your head. But she says, you know how to take care of things. So I'm not worried, so you shouldn't be worried.
Okay.
And you have your mom shows me a jewelry box with like little trinkets inside, and there's like, if you have something of that from your mom,
I do.
because she says you need to open it up and take a look and just reminisce with her, just to feel the closeness to her. um your mother also, you also have an aunt who's on the other side, because your mom keeps turning around talking to her, and I'm like, hello, I'm right here. But they both are smiley to me, so none of this is bad.
Okay.
It's just honestly, we just got to go through some uncomfortable stuff before we get back on to much better stuff.
Right, right. Got it.
I'm sorry, you also have, there's also two cats in my mind and one dog. If you can connect to pets who have passed,
Oh my
because
gosh, yeah. I had two dogs and
okay.
just amazing dogs. Yeah.
But please just know that like animals go to the same heaven that we do, and they have voices on the other side. This is for everybody. But please just know that, I mean, I see two cats as well, so the cats come in
I
here
had cats
somewhere.
too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had like 5 cats. I've had
It's
dogs.
they like all come into the picture somewhere. But
Yeah,
mom says, don't worry, we're taking care of it on our end. We just want, like, from what I described, it's like we just want you to be calm, because it's not that bad. We'll work through it with you.
I'm also looking for, I've been looking for a long time for a new place to live. Nothing has happened. I keep looking, but he can't do stairs anymore. And
Right.
we live in a house full of stairs. There's up, there's down, you can't go anywhere without a stair. And that's coming to an end. So
Now,
I'm,
honestly, now is not the right time to look for a house for
yeah,
you.
or
It's
an
really
apartment.
not.
I mean, it could be
I mean,
any,
apartment would be great with an elevator.
yeah,
But honestly, not right now. If you can wait until maybe about the fall, I'll say take a break. Really
yeah,
just take a break, let the flow happen. If Spirit finds something for you, they'll slide it to you beforehand, but I'll say take a break,
yeah,
because there's too much else going on. I know what's on the mind, but they say try your best to like I'll say to focus on other things, because I keep asking Spirit, that's not happening right now.
yeah, yeah. And also with my work, just making sure I need to support us, and he's not
So you
gonna,
keep bringing everything home,
yeah,
and then but then you're sitting there later than you should, and then you're like, why, you got to watch your husband, and you got to do the work, and you keep stopping, and it's just like, is
yeah,
this
there's,
working? Yes, it is. I see it as working. So you're just getting yourself used to the format of it all. It just give yourself a little time. I will also suggest, please take breaks, because you don't give that to yourself.
yeah,
You're pounded through from the second you start to the moment the workday ends. Like, no, 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 no. You need breaks. You need breaks. Even after, if you have to get up and help your house with something, you need 2 minutes to yourself, just to disconnect, unwind from everything, and then you can jump back in a little stronger.
okay,
And because I'm talking about this for your overall well-being, because you can't forget about yourself, because your mom also says she'll get lost if I don't say anything, because you'll do everything for everybody. Yes, in the house and the responsibilities, that's all appreciated, but you are just as important. And for you to sustain this, you need your time as well. And please keep that in mind.
And there's the timer. Kathleen, is that going to stick this time?
yeah, perfect ending.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. Well, it's interesting too, because, we say this a lot in the Spiritual Social Club, but you don't want the tired pilot flying your plane. You don't want the exhausted heart surgeon doing your open heart surgery. So why is it okay for us to always be out of air in our tires? Like, we have to stop. And that is a program that has been embedded in us for generation after generation after generation. Serve others, then serve ourselves. And what I've been doing a lot of interviews lately with a lot of people saying, we're flipping that model. To get to the fifth dimension, it is fill up your tires and then the car can race and go. That is what the jump from the third to the fifth is all about. So try it, baby steps. I know we can't jump to the fifth right now, right? But Kath, the more you do that, the universe and spirit and your team will remind you and reward you. It's both. So you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. It's just like, okay, got it. No, you do. You do. You do. Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Joseph.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, Maura, aka Kevin on the screen for you, Joseph.
Hi,
Hi.
Hello. Oh, that does
how
say
are
Kevin.
you? Yeah. So I have so many things going through my head, but I'll start with my daughter asked if she was going to meet a boyfriend this year. She wanted me to know. Ask.
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she is a thin guy who I guess a lot taller than her is important because
Oh, yeah.
I just immediately hear tall person is important. That's what I hear. But yes,
Okay.
what
Great.
she needs to do, she just needs to be herself and just go out there and have fun and be happy and don't focus on it so much. And when I say don't focus on it, I don't want her looking like desperately. It's like just let it happen.
Okay. I will tell her. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then for me, I have a couple. So I'm curious if I'm doing what I need to be doing I know there's this whole thing going on with going from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And I'm wondering if I'm doing what I need to be doing.
You could be doing a little more. You've been feeling, I don't want to say sick. You've been feeling like dragging.
Yeah.
And because then you wake up and you're like, I just slept. Shouldn't I be energized like I remember I would be? And you are, because you're intentionally making that jump, but understand it's a jump into a much higher frequency, like operating at a higher frequency. So you're still working that out to get used to that. But things that you can do to help yourself along is honestly dietarily is nothing processed, and
Yeah.
which is very hard to do, especially in America. Nothing processed because that does weigh us down. And a little more, let's see, a little more water, but a lot more sunlight. Fortunately, it's summertime. We can get a lot of sunlight now. But to focus on the things that really make you happy.
Okay.
And I mean like sitting in the chair that you are, but just reminiscing about happy experiences, and that's what helps elevate us into higher places, because once we feel good, now we're operating on a higher wavelength. And taking a step back from everyone else's stuff, everyone else's anxiety, everyone else's chaos, because I keep hearing you enthrall yourself in everyone else's drama, not intentionally, but you want everyone to be good and you love everybody and you want everyone to be happy as well, but you make it your, like, almost like it's your problem now. Once you hear the story, it's like, well, how do we fix this? I'm like, it's not yours to fix. It's wonderful if something pops into your head, but it's not yours to fix, and you're taking it to bed with you, thinking about it as you go to sleep. It's like that we can't be in 5D if we're doing that.
Yes.
But
Okay.
but understand it's appreciated. We're not telling you to stop, stop thinking about that. We're just saying, like, let's just turn down the volume of how much you're doing.
Okay.
And it makes it a lot easier.
And then does my dad have
I
anything?
was gonna say, you have a dad because he keeps tapping me off the shoulder.
Yeah.
Uh, he also says, tell her to focus on the good stuff.
Okay.
Boy, your dad doesn't sit still.
No, he doesn't.
Because in my head, he's over here, he's over here, he's over here. And oh boy, he has a lot of friends because he's just like Joe. Everybody's over here too. And he's like the life of the party.
Yes. Well, it's him.
So please just know he's living it up on the other side, doing crazy stuff. He likes, let's see, he says, he's showing me, like, what do you call that, water skiing? And I don't know if that's something he used to do, but it's something he's doing now, because he's just like, Joe, yeah, Joe, I take risks. I'm the crazy one. But he says it so calmly, and I'm like, do I believe him or not? Because it's such a calm statement to say that, yeah, he does, like, he would take risks and chances and things. And they said that's what his youth was about.
I have a heavy question for him.
Yes.
Did the hospital kill him? because that's what I think.
He says they didn't take care of him at all.
I think they killed him, to be honest. Okay. Yeah.
But please just know, but he's, his response is, well, I was gonna get here anyway,
Yeah.
because of what was going on with him. Because he says, Joe, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe very well. It's like I was gonna head here anyway. So as like them not doing anything would have given a little more time, but he says, but it's all right. Because he keeps saying, I'm like, now he has a big glass of water in his head as he sits in a chair. It's like, Joe, I was heading here anyway. And it's like, I don't want her angry.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh. If anybody could see what's going on in Maura's screen, I can't wait for you to watch this back, Maura. But as your dad was
Yeah.
talking, it was pure light behind you and we couldn't even see your face. Like, I can't
Oh,
wait for
wow.
you to watch this. Now you're back. Now you're back. We can see you back. But it's like, that was totally your dad, I think. Your dad was just taking the center stage. Okay. Oh, and then an orange just went by. Did everybody?
Oh,
Oh,
I
Maura,
saw that.
this is going to be so fun to watch for
oh
all
my
of us.
gosh.
Okay, go ahead. Your dad is having a ball.
Wow.
He also, let's see, he also shows me the month of October, if you can connect him with the month of October.
Yes. Yeah.
And like I also see the number 5, so maybe October 5th or around there.
Is he saying anything about
Anything?
October?
It's
What
usually
what
when
is that
spirit
month for you, Maura? What is that for you?
We went on a vacation in October, 2 months before he died. And I feel like I was fighting with my husband, and I have a lot of guilt about that because I get angry at my husband about it.
Ah,
Because my husband, like, it made my time with my dad not as good. So,
got it.
yeah.
Even if that did occur, but let's just say maybe it's something that you needed to say stuff needed to come out and be obvious. So everything's for a reason.
Okay.
And you have, let's say, I mean, it's not quite the same because your dad's not here physically, but you have so much more time with him now because he said, Joe, I'm constantly listening. Every time she talks to me, because she says, especially in the morning, she talks to me, it's like, I'm listening.
Okay, good.
That's
But
awesome.
he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But I really like his nonchalant personality. Everything about him is so calm. And I'm just like, you just showed me water skiing, yet you're calm doing it. It's like, who's calm doing water skiing?
Water skiing.
Yeah.
Great.
He had a lot of energy, a lot.
Oh, I love it. Well, he's definitely here, Maura. So thank you. The timer just went off, but I can't wait for you to watch this back because it's like,
Yeah, I can't either.
it's just amazing. And just let that go. Like that whole thing, whatever happened, I think October came up for a reason. So you could, pray for the forgiveness in your heart to just let that all go. Because that resentment that you keep replaying in your mind. Remember we talked about like frequency? That's a frequency down here, resentment. And
Yeah.
and you're tired by that resentment. So let it go and ask for the peace to let it go. Ask for the strength to let it go. Ask your dad for the strength to let it go. So you can be as chill as he is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And filled with light, because boy, that's cool. It's filling your
That
screen
is
with light.
cool.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Megan, you are next. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right. All right. Hi, Joseph.
Hello, Megan.
All right. So any messages that come up, I'm looking at my career path. I have an idea for like a side business that I think I'm
Oh,
gonna move.
I love that. The side business can't be a side business. It needs to be a full-time thing, but not immediately. So it starts as a side business and it becomes something bigger. As long as you want it that way. Just because I say it doesn't mean you have to work it that way. But I love the side business where you're far more in control of what's going on and far more control of your time.
Yeah.
Is what's coming about, and spirit just keeps popping up. You have a big family on the outside because there's like 5 people already now talking to me. And like of a larger group. But okay, so job, yes, please start a side business. You're gonna do some level of consulting where you get to sit down with people, like one-on-one with people.
Kind of.
Because
It would be like massage therapy. It'd be a
Mhm.
healing type practice.
Perfect. that is so needed right now. No, but you're going to talk to them like a therapy session
Probably, yeah. I'm sure that'll come out too.
before, let's say, before you sit down with them, just to get an air about what's going on in their lives, and so they feel heard and they're a little more accepting of the healing. But you need to expand upon this kind of like now. And it's like, I'm not saying get people in there now, but get yourself ready now, because spirit's like, we need you, we need you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a nurse practitioner under that. So yes, it kind of fits, just talking to people and health and all that.
Oh, you connect to Atlantis at all? Because I keep seeing Atlantis as I talk to you. So that's the kind of energy
Little
that you're
bit.
pulling in as you do this. And because Atlantis is, like prehistory kind of stuff. So there's not a lot of references to that, but it's the similar energy, similar vibrant, powerful energy you're pulling in when you do this.
Hmm.
So, which is amazing. And as you do the work, you're going to feel elevated. You're going to feel, honestly, more powerful, but just also more connected and more aware. And watch this take over like the work that you're going to do, because it's going to happen.
I kind of figured at some point it would kind of, the scales would tip where I would pick it up more.
And then you need to make that decision. And there's a mother energy on the other side. She keeps telling me, tell her she doesn't need to read every single book that she can get her hands on, because she needs to trust her own thoughts, her own intuition, and her own awareness. Because it's nice to hear other people's opinions. It's great, and expand like what you know. But she says, please trust what you already have and what you already know, because you constantly question yourself and you think you need to speak to someone and you need to reference it. You remember things so wonderfully and you can connect. And when you have even a client in front of you, you'll make those connections of what needs to be said and what things mean. So that they're just saying, please trust yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And you also connect to a J name on the other side.
A what?
A J
Oh.
name.
A J name? Not that I know of, no.
Because let's see, that's a gentleman who's passed.
Hmm.
Oh, I keep seeing like John. Some things might make sense later,
Okay.
but I'll ask him more questions. But he says he knows you, so.
Okay.
But while we're going, did you have something else you wanted to ask?
I'm just kind of, I guess it will fall along with the side business is, I'm looking at, I have financial stability, but I'm looking at getting aggressive with, I got to pay off debt, grow retirement income. So that's kind of like a focus of mine right now. And then also I need to focus on, not just nutrition, like exercise. I got to get moving a little more. So that's also a focus for the next 6 months for me.
Yes, the debt thing needs to go first before anything else, let's say financially, because it's not just a drain on the finances, but it's also a worry over your head. And I'd rather you have a clearer mind as you jump into like growing the finances, because again, it's the thoughts create the energy, and the focus creates the thoughts, which creates the energy, which creates the outcome or the experiences you have. And if there's something, if you feel like you're flushing something down the toilet, then you're not really focusing on what's growing, or you're desperate for something to grow because you have this other thing in front of you that's taking your attention away.
Right.
You also call like spirit into the house a lot, because I'm like watching people like pass by you like on the screen. So like your house feels like there's a lot of people in there. It doesn't hurt to do a little sage clearing, not because they're bad, just more because it's cluttery. It's just maybe like too many people. Sometimes like a bus station, which is why you'll randomly
It's
feel
physically
anxious.
cluttery too, and I'm working on trying to get rid of it.
That's another feng shui tip is, to remove clutter, because then so the energy can flow in through the house and flow easily to every area of the house represents an aspect of life. And so so better flow means everything's connected and everything can work together. But also so there's less clutter, because whatever's in front of you means there's clutter in your mind. And this is just all, you'll feel better once you do all that. But you're heading in the right direction, because so let's say the rest of this year is meant to be set up for the year to come, and the setup for the year to come is going to be amazing.
Yay. And that's such a great universal message for this whole Zoom. So if anybody has clutter in their car, in their closet, you know, whatever it is, and Joseph being the feng shui expert, you clear that out. I just Zoomed with a woman today from the social club who said that she had to go through, she did the Marie Kondo, you know, tidy things up and sparking joy in her closet. And it, you know, it's been a long time since she's thought about that. That was all the rage in 2018. So here we are 6 years later, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much stuff in 6 years she hasn't worn, hasn't used, hasn't seen, hasn't been, you know, sparking joy with. So take that junk drawer, and I need to listen to this too. Take that junk drawer, you know, just start with one thing, your desk, whatever it is, and it just feels so much better. It gets things flowing and going. And that'll help with your work too, Megan, your side hustle becoming your full time, right?
Yeah,
Once you feel the
definitely.
space clearing. Awesome. Okay, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, very much. Thank you.
Good. Okay, Eliza, go ahead and unmute yourself. And for you, Joseph, it says A2NOU. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
It's
Eliza.
Elsa. It's
Elsa,
Elsa.
hi.
Elsa.
Hi, Elsa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elsa. I'm sorry. I
It's
wrote
fine.
wrong.
It's fine. A lot of I even got a typo on my certificate too when I'm done with something. So, Joseph, hi. So first start, what color do you see like aura in terms of color? What color do you see?
I see
Like
blue.
what energies? Blue. And what does it mean?
Blue to me is it's communication and knowledge and learning. So besides you talking to a lot of people, you are trying to learn as much as you possibly can. I'll say absorb as much as you possibly can. There is also red in your
That's
aura.
exactly right.
Red in your aura, which is you're trying to be a grounded individual, because as you know, to deal with all this extra stuff about the ethereal plane, like you need to be grounded, and you've been successfully doing it if the red's in your aura. There's a very fine line of green, so you're being very protective of yourself right now, which is not bad, because you're just what I mean by that is because you're not telling everybody exactly what you're doing. You're not letting anybody into the about your inner thoughts. You'll see, it's just not secretly, it's just more to yourself.
Like fine line protective of myself from who?
Not
From
from people,
friends?
not from people, just I'll just say generally overall, you're going within, just so let's say it's like the caterpillar making the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. You're just going within, I'll say creating a transformation that you're just not exactly I'll say sharing with everybody.
Okay. So, if I look for some direction, what should I look for? Because right now, I'm just started my job like 3 months in right now. So I'm kind of like, I would say, I don't know, I hit the wall right now, but if I need to look for more direction in terms of who should I talk to, whether it's people from from the other side, or who should I ask for direction? What should I do?
You can ask for your master guide, obviously, about the direction, but the stuff at work is going to change. I'll say, let's just say, like, we'll start moving this along where you don't feel either stuck or stagnant there. I'll say it'll change shortly, like actually pretty soon, because I feel like a change is coming in a good way, just to just to get things a little better. I'm not saying you're gonna like change completely how you feel about it, but it's just like the universe is gonna make this work where you're okay with that, so you can focus on other things.
Okay. Another question. Is this job my last job?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. All right. Um, I want to be successful in with this job. Will I be successful? And what is the timeline for me to actually find my way to be successful?
Within, let's see, this job, yes, but I see it as just a stepping stone to the next one. Give it, Spirit says less than 2 years, which is not a lot of time. Like to be
Okay.
successful, like within, let's say within 2 years. We're
Okay.
also because let's say a little bit of my interpretation of success is money. Money where we don't have to worry about things anymore, and you'll be doing that, let's say within 2 years.
Okay. So is my career path going to be having my own business or still working for somebody else?
Ultimately, your own business.
Never thought about that. So in terms of my own business, would that be more consulting role or what type of business that I will be going into?
Spirit says more of a consulting role where you'll go from place to place and give them your knowledge and wisdom. That's more than what that looks like. That doesn't mean you're still not working for somebody else, but your focus is on what you do for yourself.
So as far as my husband, can you see what color he is right now, or what energies is surrounding him?
Oh, he's brown.
He's okay. What does that mean?
Brown is grounded, but there's a lot of anxiety with him. And where like I guess he complains a lot too, because brown also represents a lot of, it's talking, but like in a lower vibration way. He's worried, is I guess what I'm
He's
getting at.
always worried.
And unfortunately you can't help him with that.
I
You just
try, but I have to let it go.
yes, because it drags you down.
It
And it
did.
does, but what I mean by disconnecting from him in that way does not mean like you still love him, yes, you still want to talk to him, yes, but you're not letting his mood drag you down. He can be wherever he is and you can be wherever you're at. You can coexist in two different places for a little while, but when you're not, I'll say, like going with whatever he's feeling, you're leaving the door open for him to come to where you are. That's ultimately what we're trying to do. It's like oh, he just has to walk through the door. He doesn't have to participate in anything. He just has to walk through the door to be on a slightly higher vibration with you. And I'll say, but the letting it go part, they'll say he'll come because it feels nicer in a higher vibration where you are.
The thing is, like, when he is not in a good mood, it kind of bring me down as well. So we are kind of
Yes.
codependent of each other's mood.
Not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good to do that.
There goes the timer. So do you have any suggestion for Elsa? I'm sure a lot of people on this Zoom could use when there's a codependent partner or a not so positive frequency. We talked about frequency, right?
Hmm.
So what does one
As
do?
I was saying, it's like it's detaching, but I don't mean like yes, still loving, still caring, but it's just recognizing when he's in a mood that you don't want to participate in, when you catch yourself, because you may not catch yourself all the time, and it's choosing to go somewhere else with how you feel. It's like, okay, you feel bad, I'm gonna walk into the like I love you, but I'm gonna go over there and do something else. And if you want to come, wonderful. If you need to be there, then be there, but I'm going here. Because but not to point it out that he's doing something wrong, just to say you need space, I'm going to give you that space, because if you go with him, then you're there with him, and then it all sucks. But let's say to walk into the room, let's say a different room, let's say light a candle, like maybe do a couple of deep breaths just to clear out whatever could have been, whatever cloud you walked out of, and you'll feel better. And now and then once you feel better, you just walked yourself into a higher vibration.
Right?
Okay.
If that
A
makes
quick
sense.
and a quick sentence for the whole gallery and you too, Elsa, is let my energy be mine, let your energy be yours. Then you're putting up an invisible force field. You're asking your team to protect you from the energy that is not for your highest good. And you can say that you've got a spirit team. You want to keep your energy blue. You want to stay blue. So if maybe picture that blue color. Let my energy be blue. Let his energy be whatever it is. You don't want brown in the blue. Then that just makes more brown. Right?
Yes.
You got this. You got this.
Thank you, Joseph.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay. Stephanie, I don't know if you can hear. You are up. I don't know if she was having technical issues. So, Stephanie, if this is not a good time, I will keep going down the list since I did not hear from Stephanie. Okay. We'll wait to hear from Stephanie. Then Christine. Christine, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are next. Hi, Christina.
Hi,
Hi, Christina.
how are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. Oh, let's see, you're an active person.
Oh, really?
Because I see like you're trying to do too much at once, by the way,
Yeah,
but you're also
yeah.
you're also interacting with spirit.
Oh,
Because
okay. Yes, I'm trying. Yeah.
because I see you talking to them and you're hoping for a response.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I don't trust
Mhm.
like the thoughts that come in, and I'm trying to be more open to that. And yeah, I guess yeah, I'm kind of all over the place
The
with
easy
everything.
when you want a response from spirit, the easiest thing I can say to you is you just got to trust what you feel what comes to you after you ask the question. It will be a feeling most likely, unless you can
Okay.
hear them like I can.
Yeah.
But you got to trust the feeling afterwards. If you just have a good feeling, then know that's a yes. If it's a bad feeling, then just know that's a no. If it was like a yes or no question, but trust is so important because if you can't trust it, then we have nothing to build on. Because if you trust long enough and hard enough, then you can get more than just a feeling. You can get,
Okay.
impressions, you can see things in your mind, maybe hear a word, which all works within your comfort zone.
Okay.
But I love the attempts. I love the try.
More practice, I guess, just like everything. Um, well, yeah, I guess, I mean, I have lots of things I could ask about, but I mean, I think before we started, I was thinking about my um, best friend, Jenny, who passed. I feel like I should ask if she has any messages for me.
You think of her a lot when you're cooking for some reason,
Hmm.
because she shows me the kitchen and she shows me pots in front of me.
Yeah, she was very healthy, and I wish I could be healthy like her, even though she died. Well, it didn't help her in the end. I mean, I think it did maybe extend her life, but yeah, she was very devoted to that.
Okay.
Self-care.
Be, being healthy.
Yeah, she had
You-
cancer, but she fought it till the end. She taught me a lot about healthy food and all that stuff.
Okay. Because she still wants to take you into the kitchen. And let's see,
I need
show
to
you
cook
what
more. Yeah, I need to cook more.
show I can't speak for God's grand plan for each of us, but just to say, even being healthy, to still have something go on, which maybe there was something she ignored, like, I don't have time to go into that too deeply, but she wants you to still take care of yourself. And
Okay.
she says not to focus and don't focus on what could ever possibly happen, because we live in a universe where anything's possible. Anything and everything
Right.
is possible, but it's not
Yeah.
just what are we eating, it's also where's our mindset. What are we focusing on? Because understand, if you're afraid of something, you're attracting what you're afraid of because you're focusing on it.
Mm, okay. Yeah.
To keep in mind. But
Yeah.
boy, the two of you like leaning on each other's shoulders a lot.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean literally, because she keeps doing this to me, and I'm like, okay, this must be something you did. And well, I mean, she's adorable, by the way,
Yeah.
because let's see, forgive me for giggling, but she's also trying to make me laugh, because that's her thing too. She says, Joe, she says, Joe, I was trying to make her laugh, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Because please understand, she's absolutely perfect on the other side. And she's like, I'm gonna help her. It's like tell her I'm gonna be like one of the guardian angels and give her whatever she needs from me any day and at any time. And she says, because I love her. And it's just like we love each other, so I gotta keep this going.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
She also, I'm sorry, she says
Yeah.
she also used to write, she also used to doodle and write quick notes, like, because she shows me she's like, if someone took every piece of paper, like, it would be piles and piles of paper of every
Oh,
little doodle, every little thing. She would write all over that. She says you're gonna find some of
oh, okay. All
them,
righty.
which is I think is a nice little present. Sometimes I'm like, oh, here's a piece of paper I didn't know it was there, and there it is.
Right. That would be nice. Yeah.
Any other questions for you, hon, that you
Um,
got?
yeah. Well, I guess I mean, you brought up like the fear thing, and I try to not fall into that, but I feel like I'm at this crossroads in my life, and I'm very fearful of like the future and like my career and like, am I doing enough? Should I be more open to other? But I'm really like, I feel like I believe in myself, but I mean, I don't know. I guess just any kind of what messages you have coming.
You can believe in yourself and yet still have a doubt and fear at the same, at the same time. It's confusing because you jump, you can't have the same thought at the same time. So you'll be in one mode 1 minute, another mode the other minute. What I will say to that is, I promise you, absolutely promise you, this goes for everybody. I promise you, you're in control of what's going on and what the future is about. It's about where are you investing your thoughts and where are you investing your efforts? Because if you don't like the situation is in, and just know you can change it. You can change anything. And I'll say, if you fall, spirit will catch you. But also, as I said again, but you're in control. You're in control of whether or not spirit catches. You're in control of whether or not you go to that job today or not. You're in control if you look for another job. You are in control. And if you don't think you like where the future is going, you can change it because you are powerful enough to change anything and everything. And I know it's easy for me just to say it, and how do you apply it? But it is trusting yourself and just maybe reminding yourself that this is an infinite universe and I attract anything I think about. And if I want higher vibrating stuff, I got to start focusing on the higher vibrating stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and there goes the buzzer. That's a great reminder though for everybody. Christina, you're driving the car. You set the GPS. We keep forgetting that. You're not getting into somebody else's car and letting them drive. You set the GPS, you put it in Waze and you say, we're going here. And then you set the stage for only master level energy and above messages to come in. Then you trust what's coming because you set the stage. It's like putting a bouncer at a bar. Nobody under 21 is going to get in if you've got a really good bouncer. You're putting a bouncer with your spirit team and you're saying, no messages from any energy that is not for my highest good. And then anything you get from there on is for your highest good, period, end of story, because you set the intention. I say this to people all the time. Well, I don't know if I can trust it. What intention did you set? They have to follow your rules. It's like that teacher that you're scared of. You're like, oh shit, I better do what she says. That's what you are doing with your spirit team,
Yeah, I
right?
need to do that in the morning.
Yeah, they're here for you. They're here for you and they are excited to collaborate with you. They want to be your teammate here. And they also want to coach. It's like toddlers. They need structure. They need boundaries. They can't just be swinging from the banisters. So you set the parameters, you set the frequency and you watch it happen. I say that to people all the time. Watch the magic happen when you set the parameters, and you will hear you're trying. Don't just try to hear anything. Say, I need the messages from my highest good. Don't be like, ooh, I wonder if that's a spirit. Then you're going to get every bored energy that's looking for a puppet. You're going to be like, oh, you're going to see all the dead people from all in the neighborhood. They're like,
Yeah, don't do
just
that.
turned on. Don't do that. No. You don't want that. This goes to the whole gallery. Don't just light a candle and be like, what's up, seance time? No, you have to set the parameters, right, Joseph? Otherwise, God
Yes.
knows who's going to show up.
Yes. I also just want to add, it's okay to be afraid.
Yeah.
It really is, because now you have a starting point. And well, I don't there's nowhere, you hit the bottom of the bottom step. Now there's nowhere to go but up.
Right.
And just to say, it's okay. Please don't beat yourself up that you're afraid, because
Right.
I was afraid.
For sure. It's a lot to figure out the operating system.
I was 5 years old and people were visiting me in my bedroom that I've never met before. And, talk about afraid.
That's creepy.
I have so many memories, and my mother has so many memories of me running into the bedroom. And I mean, my mom wasn't quite aware, but my dad was like, okay, he knew he had to tell people to leave. He just didn't know how. But, doing the same thing my father was doing.
Right. It is scary. It's like walking, and I say this a lot in social club. It's like walking into a cockpit of a plane and you don't know how to fly it. And there's all those knobs. So slowly but surely you figure them out, but you have to set the parameters, and you're going to every day ask for those messages for your highest good from your team only, no stray neighbors, no stray cats.
Yeah, my light is flickering. Is
Yeah.
someone here, Joseph?
Your light is flickering.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's talking about showing up.
a-
I don't know.
Yeah.
A
I don't know,
father energy,
Joseph.
let's see, an old father energy,
Mm-hmm.
hanging
Old
around
father
you,
energy.
acting as a guide for you. Because
Okay.
Because in that moment you're listening, but you calmed your energy enough to be interactive with them.
Right.
Okay.
So,
But
which is cool.
Well, just
Okay.
always don't be scared. Like the face you're making is "Ugh." Like, okay, so hey, and this goes to everybody in the gallery. If your lights start flickering, if you start hearing noises and say, only messages for the master level and above, any energy that's not for my highest good must go. Go back to God. You know, get out, go back to the divine. Only the divine messengers are welcome in my space. That's another thing, Pat Longo, who was one of my teachers, and of course Joseph's too. You
My teacher
command your
as well.
space. You command your space. So you're in charge of your space. So if things start flickering, you can be like, hey, you're welcome to stay if you're here for my highest good and you're part of my team. And if you're not, you gotta go. See you later. Go back to God for source. Don't just send them to the neighborhood because then they'll haunt the neighbors. I learned that the hard way. That's for another Zoom. You got to give them a destination. Otherwise, they're going to go ding dong ditch your neighbors. It's like, oh my goodness.
I will also add, sometimes it's not spirit. Sometimes it's your energy
Mhm.
making these things happen.
Right.
Wow.
You're
Because
flaring out.
if you're
Right.
elevating, you're emanating all your aura, you can make things happen too.
Mhm. Yes, for sure. For sure. Okay, Jody, you are up. Christina, thank you. And thank you to
Thank
Jen
you.
and all your spirits that came. Hi, Jody.
Hi,
Hi,
Joseph.
Jody.
Um, Great to see you. So
Nice to
I'm
see you.
interested in life purpose, possibly bringing more intuition into my work. Hopefully, writing a book, maybe.
Oh, yes. There's actually gonna be 3 books coming out of you.
I don't know what to write about though.
You know, people keep asking me, when am I writing my book? And I'm like, I don't know what to write about. I have 50 topics I could, like hundreds of
Right.
topics I could talk about. It's like, how do I hone in on one? And one spirit just said, just pick one and go. It's just like, all right, pick one and go. Because if you start, it'll just flow.
That's great
But
advice.
the life purpose, first of all, is to serve you. As we mentioned earlier, you got to be in a place that you love before you go off and help anybody else. Is first purpose. People don't think of it that way, but that is important.
Right.
And to give people the healing, and maybe not, like messages, but I feel like you do it in a slightly different format. And I'm trying to kind of put that image in my head of what that looks like. But to give people what they need is part of the life purpose. Because life purpose is, there's more than one category in life purpose, because it's all, it's work life, personal life, family life, friend life. It's, and other things. It's like there's multiple purposes everybody has. But there's so much creativity out of you that you don't know what to do with, so you're doing nothing. And spirit says you got to start somewhere. If I have to come over there and put a pencil in your hand and a paper in front of you, it's like, so be it. But it's like, because we got to get the flow out. Because what I see is it's your back, like your plumbing. I don't mean it like your plumbing is getting backed up because you're hesitating. And it's like, all we want to do is just flow out of you and let it flow. And whatever it might be, whatever comes to mind. Because I also see you trying to automatic write and nothing's coming out because you're thinking too much into it. Automatic writing is pen to paper, and even if you're just scribbling or just writing the same word 100 times, you're still doing it, because you something like that. You have to get used to the process of what makes you comfortable. The spirit will work with what makes you comfortable. But I'll say the purpose is right now is to go with the flow, let it all channel through you, whether it's out on a piece of paper, out of your mouth, and speaking in front of everybody else, or even creating a picture that's just for you, is the temporary purpose, because you'll expand upon this, with your work. But right now, let's say it's just for you,
Mhm.
until you have a better handle on it. And because this is what puts you on, let's say, on the road to like a very successful future. Because not just are you doing good work, but you're happy with it. You're happy with the work that you're doing.
Cool.
Because spirit also wants to talk through you and you're aware of it. But again, I feel like it's backed up because you're not quite sure, you don't quite trust. It's like, I feel like someone's talking to me, but I don't know if it's true. And the only thing I can say to you is like, go with it, go with it. Whatever feels like needs to come forward out of your mouth is what needs to be said, and that's it. Nothing else. You don't need to think about it. You don't know why you need to say it. You just need to say it. You just need to
Yeah.
deliver the mail. You don't need to know the story behind it.
Cool. That's so inspiring. I also wonder about, like, I'm really working on trying to be more heart-centered. And just as part of my spiritual path. And so I'm thinking that perhaps that is where I'm going to go with the writing. I don't know if that resonates with spirit at all, but
Makes sense. You have a like not, you know, this is you have an affinity to wear necklaces like I do because I'm currently wearing two. Maybe I don't think you can see both of them, but I have this one down here and this one here. And like if everyone can see that
Mhm.
stuff. But when I feel like when you put something like that on, it empowers you. It makes you feel like maybe not as maybe you just assign it to be part of the connection to help you connect better. But I just feel like something you own has to be worn as you do some of this work because it makes you feel it's like makes you feel good and like to have this piece with you.
oh. So one of my main purposes in life is being a mom. And that's all great. Oddly, I don't really have a relationship with my own parents. And so I don't know if there might be anybody there who in the spirit world who might understand, like my father hasn't talked to me in 20 years. And it's just so weird because I'm such a family person, but he's a very different kind of person. And he's alive,
Yes.
obviously, and married, remarried. And so I think it has to do with that, but I don't know if there's anything I can learn from this.
It's not I don't feel like it's exactly because he's remarried. Let's just say one energies can't coexist in that sense. If you're on two different wavelengths, universe can't sustain that.
Yeah.
If you're a more positive person overall and they're not, you can't coexist. Doesn't work that way because only like attracts like, not opposites. Opposites don't attract. Like attracts like. Misery loves company and joy loves company. And it's better that they're not present because they'll drag you down and make you question everything. But your grandfather wants to say hi to you because he says, but he's, you know, if you remember him as a loving person,
Nice.
because he just wants to say, but you take after, let's say like that his part of his generational part of the family, because he feels just to me like very warm and welcoming, and your parents aren't, especially your dad. It's just not a like hand like arms around you comforting kind of. Some of us just don't have. Some people just don't have it. They're
Yeah.
afraid. They're afraid of the feeling. They're afraid of the emotion. They're afraid of the expression. It's not their journey at this time. Your thing is okay, you have them as that reference point to kind of be like, well, I know what the opposite of like love and affection is. So I know to recognize what true love and affection may be,
Mhm.
which
That
is
is so
what I
true.
see is like this is where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
to be it's the point of it's not to be resentful to them.
Right.
It's to have like, but I've seen both sides. So
Right.
now I can navigate this perfectly.
Yeah. I totally became myself when he stopped talking to me, right? Like I had so many things I had to be and do, and
Right.
I wasn't even doing.
Because you wanted to please him.
Yes, totally. So I got myself, but I did lose him, and
But
you
that's
know,
what's happening for you. And there's the timer for you, not to you. Right.
Yep.
And it made you the fabulous mom that you are because you're like, I'm not going to be like that.
for
So
sure.
that was, because imagine if he'd been sort of so, then maybe you would have waffled on how to parent. I love what you said, Joseph. You can't coexist. So his lack of nurturing made you so nurturing, but it's still hard because it sucks. It's a parent. You're like, ow, it's pushing on the
Yeah.
bruise,
I feel really grateful for
Yeah.
life. So
Yes.
thank you for your
Start
reading.
writing, Joan.
Yeah.
I love it. 3 books. Get going. Get cracking. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Javi, you are up if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hey,
Hi.
Joseph.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to talk to you again.
It's nice to talk to
I
you.
actually have I have a specific question this time. I usually don't. I usually just say whatever you're getting, let me know. But I feel like that last message was a little for me, and I was envisioning like Wonder Woman golden cups. Like I'm gonna go get one and put it on and see what that feels like. I have a question about like moving. I'm about to find a new place to live, which is connected to my job, and I'm a little like have anxiety around it. I really shouldn't, but I do.
No, you
And
shouldn't.
I'm wondering. Okay, because I was like, I'm just creating this, and I don't know why.
Because it's stepping into an unknown, and it's on top of the insanity that is happening out there right now. And so it's just like being like reflecting the mirror in the wrong direction. It's like reflect it back towards you.
Okay.
Because
All right.
I don't feel anything wrong with the situation. But I also caution, if you continue to put that energy into it, then something for you to have the anxiety will come about, but it doesn't exist yet.
Got it. So don't put salsa to the tacos, as my aunt would
Yes.
say. Just let them go. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then any messages that you get around work in general? I feel like any work I've done over the last year is like getting put to test, but it was interesting this time around. And a great call earlier today with a colleague who happens to be an energy healer, and we had this great conversation. It was like the first time that I realized that the energy work that I've done in that world is going into the work world. And at that moment, I was like, this is exactly why it all happened. Like I keep saying, oh, this was meant to be. But that moment, it was like, oh, I'm going to help all these people because I can. And it's like, it was the first time that all the world's coming together in a strange way, but it's so normal.
Mm-hmm. So what I feel from that though is you don't need to step it up anymore. You've achieved, let's say, achieved the level that you need to be at. You just need to ride this for a while, because this is setting you up. I see a promotion coming for you, and I don't get to say that to a lot of people. So whatever shape and form that takes, it's because of the energy you put into this, and why I say you don't need to turn up the volume of what you do. I say just stay where you are and ride this out, because more is coming. More is coming, and because you are, I also caution, don't be everybody's therapist. Because
That's hard.
because people at your job have started coming to talk to you about little issues, and it's only little issues, but they can become bigger issues, and we don't want that, because then your job becomes their personal therapist. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's, you can just very nicely say, it's like, I said, you're nice, and like, they're nice, you're nice, you can't do it right now. We're at work. I can't listen to the whole story. However you want to handle that. But Spirit also wants me to say your connections with them have been improving, and you're getting more. And I also want to say, please trust that you're getting more in your head. You've also been going on walks in the morning time.
Okay, so oh my gosh, I have so many chills right now. I normally don't take care of a friend's dog for a week, and it forced me to go on walks in the morning, and I was a little sad he left. And on the way to work today, I told my husband, maybe we should start going for a walk.
Okay, I think you should too. I think you should too. You need it'd be a little more sunlight, a little summer sun would be great, because you wake yourself up, it boosts your energy. Being in the sun, like Superman needed sunlight. It's like same thing. to be your super you. And I also have to say, I see blue jays all around you. So blue feathers, blue everything. So grandparents keep sending you the blue jays to say, like, we're here and we love you. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
I know that. Thank you so much.
What do Blue Jays mean?
Blue Jays, similar to Cardinals, because not everybody pays attention to red Cardinals. They're like, for a lot of us, like where I am on Long Island in New York, everyone knows that red Cardinals are Spirit, but Spirit also uses Blue Jays. They also, it's whatever reference you've chosen to use, and Spirit knows what you'll pay attention to. So it doesn't even have to be Blue Jays. It could be ladybugs. Some people want to see spiders. Some people want to see cats. it's, or not even animal, they want something else. Spirit uses what they know you'll pay attention to be a reference point to them. But
Yeah.
Blue Jays, a little, let's see, I'll say a little psychic meaningfulness is like red cardinals are direct connection to spirit directly from loved ones. Blue Jays represent, yes, it's the connection for your loved ones, but it's to say you're doing a good job. Because red cardinals are more about we love you, let's just say in the language. Blue Jays are a little more like you got work to do, or you're in the right spot, and it's more of a personal where are you at kind of a thing, whereas a red cardinal's more about I'm here and we're watching and we love you.
But no, I did see a lot of bluebirds today, actually. There are a lot of birds singing. Like I wake up to birds outside my window, and it always amazes me every morning it's happening.
I do too, but the birds outside my window are geese because there's a lake nearby. So I wake up to, I mean, I love it. I really love it, but like I hear geese a lot.
What
Wow.
is the meaning of geese? Now I have to know what the meaning of geese. Is there a spiritual meaning?
Think like the golden goose. It's a good thing, right? Isn't that a good one?
It is a good thing, but geese if you can imagine, geese are chatterboxes because they really talk to each other, but geese usually represent, if you're seeing a goose, there's a little protection going on, but geese are travelers.
Ah,
I mean, not that birds aren't, but geese will travel across the field because they're always looking for where's the better spot. So they're kind of like, follow me. When you see a geese, like it's more like follow me. We want to show you where we want you to go.
interesting.
Very cool.
Interesting. You've got like 30 seconds, Javi. Any one last question you want to ask?
No, that was great. And I normally don't have questions, so that was pretty amazing. Thank you.
Yay.
Somebody else will need the extra time.
Okay. Like my dog that has to jump up because of all this talk about birds, and her name is Birdie. All right, hop down, Birdie. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Roxanne, you're up.
Hi, Joseph.
Hello. I'm sorry, I'm looking for you because everybody's picture shifted. There you are. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask about romantic relationships. So somebody came back from the past from 12 years ago recently. And I guess I'm just wondering why now and what am I supposed to learn?
One, please, don't go with them. And why do they pop back in? Because sometimes, let's just say you've gone since 12 years ago, you started a little personal journey and you've reached a point where you can recognize let's just say every issue in that relationship. And you can recognize that you're in a better place mentally and emotionally. And this is the reference to what has been in the past. And it's just to recognize that was my past. I worked things through. I'm over it. I can let go of this now. Because any relationship, any encounter we've ever had, not even just romantically, any relationship, we have something to learn and something to experience. And when the universe brings them back around, let's say, it's really for us to recognize, I have learned something. I know what that is. I know what my journey's been about, whether or not that person has changed. And I know I can let this go.
Do you see this person overcoming their own personal challenges or not?
No, they don't want to.
They don't want to. Okay.
They've pretty much who they are 12 years ago. And which is why you're hesitating, because your instincts like they're nice, but there's something here.
Yeah, I mean, something feels off, but I'm
Yes.
wondering, yeah, something feels off.
Because you're in a higher place than they are, so it's very easy for you to be able to feel that. And I'll say, if you feel that from the beginning, then please don't proceed with that. It's really just the universe saying, remember this person. It's like, remember, everything about this person. We're checking in. It's like, just so for your energy field, can we remove them completely? Or put them over there. If they do the work on themselves, wonderful. I don't see them doing it. It's just to say, the check in with you. It's like universe will do that. They'll bring people back in just so we can have that personal check-in with ourselves to say, you know what, I'm in a different place. This is my past. I don't need this. I don't need this connection. I can cut the cord with them. It's because we can't cut the cord unless you recognize it.
So how close? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. And if you cut the cord, then you allow the room for someone else to come in. Because someone's waiting.
Yeah, that was my next question. How close am I to a
You're
healthy
close. You need to
romantic
cut.
relationship?
You need to cut the cord though, because
Okay.
it could be as quickly as the summertime, right now, like in this summertime. But
Okay.
we need to cut the cord. And when I say that, but you need to feel good about it, and you need to feel good about letting this person go.
Yeah, I
Because-
think I'm still trying to figure out a kind way to say it. Yeah.
Mhm. Sometimes it can't be a pleasant conversation. Sometimes you have nothing nice to say. And I know we all try to be good people. Sometimes that truth just needs to be said,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll feel better.
Okay.
But just understand, once you do that, you'll be a hermit for a little while, but it's only a little while. And like towards, perhaps towards the end of the summer season is when somebody else comes into the picture. When I say that, I don't mean like, it's instant love. I just mean like it's you meet each other, you recognize that there's something to it, and you'll plan things out and move forward from there. Because I know I've learned, when I say like, oh yeah, love's coming, at this time, and people expect it to be instant love, instant relationship. Like, you can't do that. Can't do that. We don't live in a cartoon. It's like you have to build into that, but it starts.
Okay.
Starts actually very soon. Even the end of summer, it's not that, like, we're already in summer. It's not that far away.
Mhm. So my next question has to do with my career. So I have a full-time corporate job, but I recently started an entrepreneurial venture that I'm hoping will eventually let me leave my corporate job. I guess, what do you see as the timeline for that?
I see you sticking this out for like 5 years. About 5 years, because your corporate job, besides, I mean, it's still important to you, but unfortunately, it's like, it's the kind of thing where, you have your foot in both, you have your foot in both yards. You can't make both gardens grow the same,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to have a little bit of time here and a little bit of time here and more time here and more time and less time there. That's okay, because you need the main job to remain stable until the secondary thing becomes big enough for you to go full force on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. A little nurturing, and a little watering here or there, a little food here or there is still wonderful, because you'll grow this into something. But Spirit wants me to say, but you need to focus on your business, and means that, okay, when you're not at the day job, let's say, the focus needs to be about the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
But
kind of.
but don't be afraid of balancing that out, like 2 jobs and having a relationship, because you can do it. It's just not all at once. A little time here, a little time here, a little time there. So, and that's just the reality of it. Because Spirit just wants me to explain, just to caution you over, I'll say, overthinking. Okay, what am I doing with myself? Because do I give them time? Do I give me time? Do I give that time? And it's like, what? If you can plan this out, where there's a little, can't be equal, but just give yourself like an idea of like, this is how much time I'm dedicating to everything, and that's okay. Whatever you choose is great. But as long as you have the mindset of, okay, I know there can only be so much for everything, because there's only 24 hours in the day, and we should spend at least 8 of it sleeping.
Mm-hmm. But do you see me eventually transitioning out of my corporate job?
Yes. And working from home, and let's see, a bigger home office.
That would be great. So, are there any messages from my grandmother?
Yes. Boy, she's a feisty person. Okay, she's loud. But
Well, and there goes the timer, but we want to hear from Grandma. So what would Grandma like to tell Roxanne?
she says that she's also pulling the strings on the other side for you. So anything energetically that you need, she says you can ask her, because she knows how to get things done. She said, I always knew how to get things done. And so she says, but don't be afraid of asking me. She says, don't be afraid of like, you're never asking too much. Doesn't exist. Never too much. So ask anything and everything. She says, I'll help. I'll give you what you need.
Okay, thank you. Thanks,
You're
Joseph.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Roxanne. And that's such a great reminder too. I just had to share, thank you for sharing what you said about somebody circling back, because I had a very similar thing happen recently. And my latest thing to ask myself, is this a sign or is this a test? Right? And it sounds like Joseph is saying this
But
is a test, right?
but if you have the feeling to be cautious right at the get-go, it's a test.
Right.
Because there's a difference between excitement and just feeling like, this feels good for some reason, and I don't have to think about this so much. It just feels good. If
Right.
it feels good, then that person must have worked on themselves to be a different person now. So now when they come in, they're a better person for you. But when there's
Right.
always that first, second question of like, really, what? And because I've learned that too. I've really learned that from experience. And I've told my guys, I've said, why don't you trust us in your gut right away? And I'm like, okay, because I've met people who worked on themselves and they feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming back around, and just like
Right.
I just decided to do other things.
Right. If they haven't worked on themselves and met your frequency, again, it all goes back to like attracts like. So keep raising your vibe high, then the right people will be attracted and show up and land. Okay, cool. Hi, Stephanie. We see you. No more technical difficulties. Yay. Welcome, sweetie.
Yeah. Hi. Well, thank you so much. So I'd like to talk to my mom. She's been gone now 4 years, and I just feel like she was the powerhouse that kept us all together. And officially after 4 years, like things aren't as like together as they were. And I just love to hear what she has to say.
Sometimes people are just, their energy is just essential spoke to groups and families, and when that's not there, no one's able to put the effort in to keep that going, because it was only really one person who can hold it all together.
I
But
tried, but she was a powerhouse.
yes, but you're meant for other things.
Mhm.
Really meant for other things. I mean, you have your immediate family that you kept close. It's just the mom says the extended ones are being the pain in this scenario. But because people like they're moving on with whatever they want to focus on, and that's okay. We understand like the little bit of grief going on, but mom just like, okay, it's like let them go wherever they're gonna go, just like we want to let you go wherever you're gonna go. But yes, but you say your mom likes hosting, because she says like, Joe, tell her I have a long table and everybody and I'm talking to everybody. And so she's the kind of woman who always had everything happen at her house. But she
Yeah.
says that you also take after her with the strength, and maybe not the energy, but the strength of character and strength of personality, because you don't let anybody talk you down. And Bob's like, that's something I never allowed either. No one told me what to do. No one told me that I was doing something wrong. And I'm like, I like this woman. She's funny. But she says she follows you everywhere you go. And she says you feel her. So I love being able to tell my clients that you feel her walking around with you. And
Yeah, I hear her.
Your mother's a bit opinionated, because when you don't do things her way, she has something to say about it.
Yeah. No, she definitely.
But she
she
says but I appreciate my daughter trying to do it my way. She doesn't exactly hit on it because it's her way still, but I appreciate she tries. Because you remember everything your mother did. I'm sorry, there's like a list in my head of like things I could be saying, and I'm just like don't have enough time for all that. But your mom liked things a certain, like just so, and a certain way, and she just keeps that going. But please just know, but in your mother's eyes, you're successful. It's like, you have the intentions that you want to emulate her a little bit, and you just want everyone to be happy. And as you said, keep the family together. Mom says it's okay. I said, let them go where they're gonna go, because in moments where they need to feel loved and they need to feel recognized, they'll come back. And we leave it up to you if you want to give it to them, but just to say, like, because they know where the love is, and when they feel like they really need it, they'll come back. Or unless they're afraid of it, but that's a whole other story.
Any specific questions, Stephanie? Anything else, like question wise?
No, I feel like Joe is hearing a lot right now and processing it, but I heard exactly what I needed to hear from her. So if there's more that she wants to say, that's great. If there are other family members around that want to talk to me, that's great. But yeah.
your mother makes my heart pound a lot. She had heart problems before she passed.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, my heart's going, it's not me, and I'm just like, I need to call her out on it before so I could go away. Please just
That's
know though
okay.
that doesn't
You can
affect
yell at
her
her.
anymore. Oh no, I don't want to yell at her. Then I'll be in trouble, and I don't need that. But she also says she wants you to get out in the yard more. And whether she says you need a project to do. So she's like, tell her, if you want to do landscaping or something, because that's been on your mind, she says, go ahead, but I just want you outside.
So I just have to share with you how on top of it Joe is. Like, I always sign up when it's you because you're amazing. But literally, our family hates being outdoors. We hate the sun. We hate being outdoors. But I was annoyed by a tree. So out of nowhere, I bought a saw and like cut down a tree in the front of my yard. And it's so out of character for me. And it's so funny that you would bring that up because like you hear spirit. So it's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it's so out of character. Like, her house was 55 degrees. She never went outside. She hated heat. And so, thank you.
But they know it's good for us because they have a higher perspective to everything. And yes, and she'll make.
I just needed to chop something. Like, I just needed to go outside and chop something. It was my kickboxing. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's always great to see you. And I love your mom. She's such a spirit.
She's a powerhouse.
Feisty. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the best. She's the best. Well, you have a minute and a half left, Stephanie. So I want you to
Well, so if there's
and
any,
she's
go
sassy.
ahead.
Yeah.
And she's sassy.
Mhm.
If there's anyone else around that wants to say hi, my dad is there, all my grandparents, my aunts and
you have an uncle over there as well.
uh-huh.
Because but he's connected to your mom. So your mother's brother, because he stands right next to her.
I think it's Andy. I think it's my uncle Andy.
Okay.
Fran's husband.
Okay.
Do you see a J or an A? Or it could be a cousin,
Yes.
Stevie or Mark.
Okay. Because I'm like, no, it's related to your mom because that's where they stand in my mind. But unless they're screwing it up, they're not following my rule sets. But I love how your dad says, well, your mom did all the talking, and I'm just like, that's it, dude. That's all you're gonna give me.
Yeah.
But he says he's fine with everything. It's like, whatever Bob said. I'm like, God, this must have been their relationship.
Yeah, no, completely. This is 20 years since my dad is gone. So if there's anything he wants to say about my kids or anything like that.
Actually, my cousins want to say something. Which it's just like they said, Joe, she always makes like the most spectacular time because you always plan stuff out for your kids, and like you really go out like above and beyond to like make the experience as perfect as it possibly can because you're detail oriented, and that's all you want to give them is a wonderful experience. And they said, do that for you too. It's like give yourself like that kind of a plan out. But the kids are fine. I mean, wonderful. Because they're happy and bouncy is the words they put in my head. And they said, so you're doing a good job. I'm sorry, thumbs
Thank
up.
you.
Said,
Thank you. I think that was my
honest
cousin Mark. So
Okay.
thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mom and Mark. We love it.
Yeah. Thank you,
closer,
Jen.
Stephanie. Thank you.
And Joe, of course.
You're
Good to
welcome.
see you. Awesome. Okay, Kathy, you are next if you want to unmute yourself. Thank you all for your patience.
Hi, Kathy. We can't hear you.
Kathy, you're muted. Bottom left corner, just click on the microphone. Oh, yeah. Now actually you're fine. Did you have headsets on?
I do, because I can't hear very well.
Oh, now we can hear you.
I'm
There you
getting
go.
so old, I can't hear.
No,
So I had my little hearing apparatus on, but you can hear me
You're
okay?
not old.
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you great.
Okay.
You're not old. You're experienced.
Thanks, Joe.
Also understand,
I'd
like
really like to hear.
my sister's 44 and she wears a hearing aid, so don't
Oh,
feel
she
bad.
does? I think I need to get one. Get some, for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Dad always seems to come through. My sister is on here as well, Trudy, and I'd love to hear from him, but our mom passed away in December, so I'd love to hear from her. She is settled in up there.
your mom said she had to push everyone away like when she got there because she's just like, get out of my way. I got stuff to do because mom always had a grand plan going on. But your mom wants me to talk about, let's see, rubbing her shoulder and holding her hand. But when I say holding her hand, not just holding her hand, but kind of like, I guess like massaging the hand, because that's what she's showing me.
Okay.
So if you could remember if that was something that you did, but your mom's very grateful, she said, for giving her a wonderful send off. And I'm not talking about like the services, I'm talking about like you and her. Let's see, just before she passed. So because she says Joe, like she was quiet for a while, but then she decided to start talking because she felt like she needed to. And she's like, I couldn't talk to her. I like really wanted to tell her how proud I am of her. Because she says you did everything for her. And she's very, very appreciative. And listen, you have a few photos like in every room of mom. Like throughout, I guess,
yeah.
throughout the house, because it's like mom's like in every room. It's like, Joe, I'm in every room.
Yeah. Well, there are things of hers in every room for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because also something that she appreciates, because she says, yes, it's fresh, and I want you to. She wants you to. It's like I already made like my home here. It's like it took. She said it didn't take me very long, and she said everybody had to step aside when I got here because she has the biggest personality.
She does. That she does.
Like she has, she's the kind of person when she walks into the room, everyone knows it.
Yep. She was the life of the party.
Because she's a strong-willed person. So
yeah.
So like this makes it fun to talk to someone like that. But please understand, she said she's doing amazing over there.
Okay.
She says, I was happy with you, but I'm also happy over here. So like she said, don't feel bad that I'm here, because she said it's amazing.
Is she with dad? Like, does she mention dad at all?
Yes.
Okay.
She likes talking about herself more.
Okay.
Oh, but your dad,
okay.
he says, like talking to me about you getting another car, and he says, like, because that's like something that he's interested in.
Oh, he isn't interested in cars, but I think I have another year yet. But
okay.
he's definitely
he might be perceiving a year from now because they don't have time up where they are. So
yeah.
But because he says, "Oh, I'm gonna find the best thing for her." So it's like, Joe, when this happens, like just know it's just like Dad got this for me, basically. And it's like, I'm like, wouldn't she have to pay for it? And he's like, yeah, but I get it for her.
That's Dad. No, he's definitely into cars. I think he kind of made us all into cars. But yeah, I guess I'm counting down the days until I can get my new one.
So it is something on your mind then.
Yes, it is.
So
I also have I've been studying a lot for a test to kind of take a different path with my career. It's actually in a couple of days. So where do you see that going for me?
I see you making it. I see you going. I see it happening.
Okay.
And I see you. You're getting like a new license.
I am getting a new license. Yes.
So, and you're gonna jumpstart this kind of quickly. I love how your dad just like, okay, I'm talking now. And I'm like, great. It's like I just need someone to talk. But think of it as like it's divine timing, because it took you a long time to do this. And a little bit of the hesitation, because let's just say the timing, the energy, the timing wasn't right. Now it's
that's
perfect.
Right.
And you've aligned yourself wonderfully with all this. So that's why it's perfect, because you feel fine. Honestly, as much as you're asking, I feel like I don't feel anxiety from you. And so I feel like you feel calm enough to make all this work, and you'll jump into this, you'll be happy, and you'll be able to, it's giving you something else to focus on, that it's just like to have something that you actually enjoy getting up and doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It just will take me in a different part of the country is all. But and then what do you see for me? Romantic.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Maybe that's where the romance is. Maybe that's where the romance is. Hey.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows, Jen?
I say be open to anything and everything. Because, I've also learned in my time that, let's say, if you give someone too many details, they look for those exact details and they miss it. Because, like my perception of something is not necessarily someone else's perception of something, and then they miss the opportunity. And I'm like, and I don't want to do that to people. But you are going to meet somebody, and
Yeah.
let's say this year.
This year. Okay.
So an opportunity comes about, and let's just say they're good, they're in a good place, you're in a good place, and I'll say, and then let's say just let it flow. But in order for that to happen, is like we honestly seriously have to like get you out the door and doing things that you enjoy, because that's the best energy for you to be in, is just being out enjoying yourself, kind of a thing, or just being in a good place when you're actually looking. And this, like, and I can actually say you can look, because Spirit's like, tell her she can look, because I have 1,000 questions I ask Spirit when I'm talking about looking for a relationship. It's like I've applied it to myself too, so I know how to navigate a little bit of this myself.
Yeah.
But
I've kind
it's
of tried not to look. I just
Mhm.
hope that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I don't really look.
but you got to meet the universe, let's say halfway,
Yeah.
because you got to be ready to, let's say, open to, like, not just open to receive, ready to receive.
Right. Well, I feel
Because
ready.
Mhm.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's why I say, but like to get yourself, put yourself out there, like quite literally, and online, in person, whatever, because it's, as I said, it's meeting the universe halfway, because we're not delivering it to you like Amazon, because that would freak everybody out. It's like,
Yeah.
here you go, here's your person. It's like it's weird. It's weird. But so you got to be out. You got to be out, but I'll say having a good time. So
I
which is
go out.
attract,
I go out a lot. I
which
do.
is
I put myself out there, Joe. I do.
which
Yeah.
this person also has some tattoos. I guess you're okay with that, because they
Is
keep
what?
wanting me to say, I keep hearing tattoos. So there's a tattoo on them.
Tattoos?
So
Did you
maybe
say
not,
tattoo?
yeah,
Tattoo.
tattoos, but
Tattoo.
maybe not noticeable. Maybe they have to remove an article of clothing for people to see it, but there's tattoos on them.
Wow.
Oh,
And just
Or
right then the
or
bell goes off. What a perfect appetizer.
okay.
see,
Thank you, Joe.
you're welcome.
Great to see you, hon.
Thank
Oh,
you, you too.
exciting. Okay, Trudy, you're up. Go ahead.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Joe. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
So that was
Hello.
my sister, Kathy. So we were both hoping to hear from our mom, for sure our mom, because we've talked to our dad a few times. I always love hearing from him, but does she have anything to say to me, our mom?
She thanks you for making decisions on her behalf, because she says, Joe, that was hard, because you didn't want to, but you were willing to do it anyway. And she says, Joe, because she said that's another, she also got my strength, to just do it no matter how you feel.
Okay, that's
And
good.
but she says she's so very appreciative. You also went home, like brought home mom's stuff, like with you. Not saying you took everything, but I'm just like, you brought stuff home, man. Because mom's like,
Yeah.
when she was holding it up and like thinking of me, but seeing how it would look on her, she's like, Joe, tell her I was right there, right next to her. And it's like, I wish I could tell her. It's like, just, she said, because you only held it up, and she's like, just put it on, it's yours.
Oh, yeah, she loved to dress up, and we all like to, wear nice clothes, but I know she loved it when we looked good. We loved it when she looked good. She loved it when we looked good. So that's very cute. I love that she said that. Well, I asked her for signs all the time, and I talk to her all the time, and Dad, I talk to them both. But I tried to make it hard, and I asked for a butterfly, but a blue butterfly. I didn't even think they existed, but they don't really, I don't see them in the wild, but I see them everywhere else. So yeah, so TV, there's blue, and then I saw a huge black butterfly in the yard that had a bright cobalt blue like tip on its wings, and I'm like, okay,
That's pretty.
that's her. Yeah,
But it's whatever you ask for and whatever you pay attention to.
yeah, I try.
But let's see, but just understand, like, once you ask for it, you let it go and let it happen. Is
Yeah.
the easiest way, because let's say if you're looking too hard, you'll miss it, because if you ask Spirit, they'll put it here, but if you're looking that way, you're missing it completely, because it's over here. But
Okay.
so I always like to tell people, like, go easy on yourself, just go with the flow, because if you just go with the flow, you won't miss it. They'll point you towards the thing that you want to see, because if you're
Yeah.
looking, then you're not letting them do that.
So my dad comes to us as like a dragonfly, and that's kind of been a recurring theme with him. And my oldest grandson now says that's Papa, he'll say that's Papa Louie. I'm like, did you ever see Papa Louie? Which he didn't, because his parents weren't even married when 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 my father passed away. And he goes, yeah, I know Papa Lou. I met him when I was a baby. And I'm like, really?
That's how
Oh, yeah.
spirit
Okay.
works, Trudy. That's how spirit works. They're all talking
Yeah.
before they even
I'm
get
like,
here.
okay.
Children can see and hear spirit.
Yeah, yeah. So my daughter had, this is a different set of grandkids, but my daughter has a son that they said my dad had, and my dad loved cars and boats. And this kid is obsessed with cars and boats.
Mm.
And now she's pregnant with another one. Is there anything you can tell? She's due here soon. Is there anything you can tell us about that one that's coming our way?
Oh, it's going to be, let's see, a very intelligent person. Let's see, very aware. Also, we're going to be talking to spirit a lot more than the rest of you.
Okay.
And it's just like, doesn't hurt to encourage that.
Okay.
But let's see. Oh, but it's like such a sweet person.
Yeah.
Coming in to heal everybody. They're going to have their completely own mindset. So prepare for stubbornness.
Oh, what?
I said prepare for a stubborn kid.
Oh, okay. That's
because-
okay. I'm stubborn too, so I get it. We'll understand each other.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay.
But they're gonna love you.
Okay.
They're gonna love
Yeah,
you.
the
They're gonna look
gaga.
for you. You already, and I hear you already started talking to them, but they haven't even arrived yet. So,
Yeah, I always do.
which is wonderful because you start setting up the relationship even before they're here.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So I love that you chose to do that because there's so many things I wish I could get out a microphone and just tell the world, like start talking to your children before they arrive.
Yeah. I
'Cause
just say I can't wait. You're gonna love your family and just ton of fun things. Yeah. Yeah, we can't wait.
But your dad the dragonfly means protection,
Okay.
and that's what your dad represents to you all. Because
Okay.
dragonflies are protectors, butterflies are messengers, fireflies are observers.
Mm.
They're what? Observers?
Observers. They
Okay.
watch. And if there's something going on, they'll tell the butterfly to send the message or the dragonfly
Oh.
to come and protect.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're if you notice they're always hovering in the background because they're watching.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And
And
my husband and I are always in a transition as whether to stay or whether to move. Do you have any thoughts about that? We kind of contemplated moving and now we pulled back again.
no, I like that you pulled back. It's not the right time for you.
Okay. Okay, good.
In the future, let's see, next year, yes, not at this time though. So
Okay.
it's okay that you're feeling the pull, but just if you can wait it out a little bit longer, it's just honestly not a good time
Okay. Okay.
to do
Perfect.
such a thing, which is why you pulled back, and I agree.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
husband also has a mother who's passed because
Yes.
as you brought him up, she's like, Joe, you're going to talk about me. And I'm like, it's like, then say something to me, lady. She wants him to know that she knows how much he misses her because their connection is very strong.
Yeah.
And she says, I want him to know that I'm always with him. And I said, and he can talk to me. He hesitates because he feels maybe some people feel like it's wrong to talk to spirit because we're bothering them. And she's like, he's not bothering me. It's like like she says, what else am I here for? I mean, I'm here to listen to him. So it's like if anything
Okay.
I can give him is my ears now because that's at the moment that's really all she can give him.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. But she says tell him to talk to me because I want to hear everything he has to say.
That's awesome. That's great. Do you hear anything from his dad? He's up there too.
Like talk about dad. Someone's birthday's coming like in a month. Be like either the end of July or August. That's my reference frame is always in a month's time
Okay.
because I see balloons and I'm like, that's birthday.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
gotta think about that one.
it might make sense
It's
a little
probably
later.
somebody.
But
It could be that they're acknowledging the baby coming or no, because the baby's due the end of July.
Oh, there you go.
And that's
Not
an
my-
actual birthday.
not my reference point, but it does make
Okay.
sense. But,
Okay. Okay, I'll think about that.
Actually, I don't think I actually have a reference for actual birthing, but maybe I should use it then.
There you
Okay,
go.
I got something new to use.
There you go. I love
But
it. Well,
but but your dad also says, but he's also always walking around the house. He says you might hear his footsteps because
Oh,
he
yeah.
says,
My
Joe, I'm
dad.
heavy on my feet, so people hear me, and it says just to know, like, that's me. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just doing my thing. Because he says
Right.
he makes the rounds. Like he says when you were all younger, he would check on everybody a couple of times, and he says it's just
Okay.
me making my rounds.
Wow. That's cool. Okay.
Awesome. All right, there's the timer, sweetie. I can't wait for the grandchild. This is
I
so,
know, we're excited.
oh my goodness.
Thank you very much. That was
Oh,
great.
Oh,
You're all
good.
welcome.
And I remember your gorgeous mom. I mean, she was
Yeah.
so magnificent and on
She's
these
so
Zooms when
pretty.
we started, and
I know.
just you're all gorgeous, but it just you could see,
Thank you.
oh my goodness. And so she
Oh.
is sending you butterflies galore.
Oh
Don't
yeah, she
you'll
really is.
on buses, like wherever you'll see them wherever. You'll see
Yeah,
them.
I see him everywhere.
Oh, that's so great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
my dear. Great to see you. Great to see you. And
Nice
now Laura, and thank you all for your patience. We're coming up here. Laura's gonna
Hi.
unmute herself. Hi.
Hello.
I've been in and out, but I've been listening the whole time. I'm fostering a litter of kittens, so they're like running
Aw.
around, but I've been listening.
Oh, I love you even more now.
And I keep thinking that you look like Walking Phoenix. I don't know if you ever got that.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Actually, I don't remember if maybe I've gotten him before. I've gotten other celebrities before. So, but thank you.
Okay.
Add that to my add that to my repertoire. But
Yeah.
I appreciate that. All right, my dear.
So I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you about is
You have a grandmother on the side, by the way, who's waiting to talk.
oh, really?
So, because she says, like, part of the answering the questions thing, but also so you know that she's present, and because she
Okay.
says that she's part of the guardian angel entourage, and because the two of you are close, and she says I'm closer to her than her and her mother were, and because it was just a different relationship. Not saying
Yeah.
anything was bad with mom. It was a different level of a relationship. And she says that because you would share things with her that you didn't share with everybody else. So, and her too. She says I would tell her things too, Joe, that no one else kind of knew, because that was the thing we had
Aw.
going on. And do you remember playing card games with your grandmother? Because she's showing me that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember
Okay.
playing yeah. My grandmother was German and we would play
Oh.
these like German card. I don't know if it's German or like Dutch or yeah. We used to play those games when I would
Okay.
visit Chicago when I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, we could get on to your question. She just like, you better tell her so she knows who you're talking about, Joe.
No, and I was thinking about her actually I was thinking about her today and I wear her ring all the time. So and my uncle and we were just talking about her yesterday. So that's really great. I wanted to talk about love and relationships. It's just been a hell of a year so far. I don't even know what to think.
Yes, it is. Because you're such a sweetheart of a person, but you attract a lot of narcissistic personalities because you are a natural healer. That's like, you don't have to be formal about it, but just the natural, you bring people in who are just like vampires. They feel like you'll give it and they'll just suck it out of you. And
Right.
so the lesson in there is like, let's say, how do you stop attracting that? Is, let's say, when somebody gives you just the slightest little oog in the beginning, it's a no.
It's a no. Okay.
It's like when they give you that because it's your gut saying this is the same thing over and over again, because they quickly show you, who you are. But
Right.
spirit also suggests that you just take some time to just get reacquainted with you all over again.
Yeah.
Because you're a different person than who you were at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
And
totally.
just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
reiterate who you are, what do you want, what do you like, blah 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 blah. Just it doesn't have to be for very long, just to check in with yourself for a little while so we can get back out there and ask yourself, like, what do you want? And it's
Yeah.
like, do you want someone protected? Do you want something providing? Do you want someone just to have fun with? It's like it's the actual questions to ask. It's just in your head. It's like, what do I want? Do I have an answer? Here's an answer. If not, I get to it later. But it's the means of that is you're putting out the intention of, this is who I want to bring into my life. You want someone who's nurturing. You want someone who's, to me, I feel like you want a partner who you can bounce things off of, who's going to be just as responsible as you are and take things on just as you would do, and you just live life together. It's like, not like never this one person's got it over the other one kind of relationship. And so you will have that. but Spirit says the way to get there is we just want you to check in with yourself.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, because I just kind of ended a 4-year relationship, and but I also feel like I've lived on my, like, I've lived on my own, but I always had a roommate, and this is the first time I just have my own place, and I just feel like such a different
But
person.
you need your own place.
Yeah.
You need your own space. You don't need another person's influence at all.
Yeah.
So
And
to be on your own is perfect.
And I still really want to like have kids, at least one. I hope that's in my future. I'm afraid to ask because I don't want to be disappointed. But
yes, there's one. Actually, I see 2. So
well, I'm a twin, so hopefully I have twins.
That's funny. I'm a twin as well.
Oh, really?
And
it doesn't skip a generation. My mom's a twin. So.
It doesn't actually it doesn't run in my family. My brother and I are fraternal, but because my mother needed assistance, so she got double assistance at the same time.
Okay.
So then she ended up with 2 because they don't run in my family.
Okay, so
nobody looked for another me. My brother and I don't look alike.
I don't look like my sister, and I don't look like either. Okay, so so I'm in a good place, and
you're where you're supposed to be right now.
Okay. And then
a relationship will come, but as long as you do the work that I just described.
Just like focusing on what I want, or like getting into
focusing on what you want, who you are now, what you like, what you want to see, and when you click into what all that is just to feel good about it. It's like, okay, I have a direction, I have an idea of what I'm looking for, because once you have that initial idea, more ideas will come after that.
Okay.
Just to say, we're just adding to the picture of what this energy is gonna be, and then it's just a matter of giving it time to form into the physical realm.
Okay, that sounds good. And I wanted to see if anybody, my dad, my best friend, I've had like 3 people from my job pass away. Like I've had a lot this year, so I don't know if anyone else is coming strong. Or
one of them is an M name coming in strongly.
An M?
Yes.
Can't think of an M.
Actually, that's a gentleman.
Oh, it's a guy? An M.
Unless you're just attracting other people.
Right. You want to pick one specifically, hun, and just see if Joseph can tune in for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to hear from either my dad, from Ryan, from Dr. Bates, from Peter. Who else?
Well, we've only got a minute left, so let's see
Yeah.
who.
Ryan,
So anyone that
I'm sorry. So the Ryan person, because I'm
that's
just
my
like,
best friend.
I'm just like, well, I feel good. Oh, he passed so quickly.
Yeah, he did. It was like
not in a good way either.
No.
Let's see. I won't expand upon that right now because we're in a group. But please just know that he's a rock star, he says.
I love him.
And he says that, and it's like, tell her like I never leave her alone. So it's like, I mean, he has to say that he's watching you in a good way constantly.
Okay.
Not constantly. He said constantly. It's really not constantly. We do get privacy from Spirit. But please just know that he says, I'm part of the team. And he says, he says, I find people for you. I'll go find people for you as well, like if you want me to.
Good to know.
But you do this thing where like, I don't know, you used to have a drink together, and it's like sometimes you just do it and and just kind of imagine him with you.
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely.
He's telling me like when she does that, I'm really there having my own version of a drink. And which I'm like, and I'm excited that you know what I'm talking about, because I'm about to tell her that she has an imaginary drink with somebody.
You're spot on. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy.
That's awesome. The timer just went, but I hope that gives you something to smile about next time you do a cheers.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Oh, he feels fun. I'm like, really? You have to be over there? You can't be here to have a drink with us, guys? And he's just like, what do you want me to say, Joe? I'm like, yeah, I know.
Sounds so much like him.
That's just proof that they're just like in the next room. they're so close. They're so close. They're right in the next room. But yes, we want them here. We want to be able to pick up the phone and call them. But in this 3D, it's hard. So we got to meet him halfway. So keep thinking about him and raising the glass, and he'll show up and make you laugh. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Lori. And now Joe, yay, thanks for your patience. If you can unmute, hon. Joe, there she is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Hello.
Okay, great. So that was a nice surprise. I checked my email and it turns out that you did have a cancellation. I was hoping that you would. So
Yes.
here I am.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
It was. My first question for Joe is, why do I keep seeing the number 444? My dog's waking me up at 444. I keep looking at the clock at 444 during the day, or I just randomly see it.
One, the number 444 means that the angels are working with you, so you have angelic assistance in everything that you're thinking about. And 4, numerology is the foundational number. You've created foundation for anything you're building right now. It's an awesome number to see, because let's see, like the 4 corners of a house, we need 4 corners of foundation, and from here we build up. So it's a powerful number to see, because also you've created things, because it's the 3 would be like the manifestation number, 4 is established. It's like you're seeing things now that you've created in your own head. We just want you to recognize that. It's like things that are coming to you are of your creation, of your design. And it's amazing to be in that position, because sometimes we don't stay there very long, but you've hit a good spot right now.
Okay.
You are also, I also
spot.
feel like you are such a sweetheart. Really, you are. Like, you're always doing something for somebody else. And like, if you're not volunteering, it's like, it's something like that, because you're just like, oh, I'll help you. I'll go do the thing. And it's beautiful energy, beautiful energy.
Thank you, because I do a lot. And currently I'm taking care of my mom, who's in hospice care. And she went into hospice care 2 weeks after my brother passed, which was this past May. So my brother was very sick his whole life. I'm the older sister. I feel like he's with me all the time. And on top of that, I lost 2 dogs within that 14 months. And my husband filed for divorce, like perfect timing. So I'm going through like the craziest transitions, and I'm moving soon. God only knows where.
Let's see, as I was describing, like, maybe you weren't here in the beginning, but I'm describing that this is in numerology, this year counts to an 8-year, which is transitions, and we got to move out of the negative stuff. So consider most of that is getting rid of the negativity in your life, and not saying, like, let's say the dogs were not negative. It's just that, let's say the situation around them maybe wasn't pleasant, or just too much work. And so just to better serve, your direction, is things have to go in a different direction. Such as your husband really needs to go in a different direction. Because again,
I keep hearing that.
because you don't need this anymore. You don't need whatever he brings to the table anymore. And this is the universe's way. Well, we're taking this out of the picture for you without you trying, because you're one to keep the peace. You're one to keep the positive side of everything, and the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes the universe is just like, nope, we're just wiping the slate clean now. And I also mean that, because I don't mean everybody's a negative person, but as I said, sometimes the situations around them are negative or draining. And if they choose to go into the next world, it does, as much as it's sad, it does make life easier, and allows us to focus on other things besides them. And their souls are aware of it, but the grand plan is this massive network of energies and situations that serves everyone, for the greater good on some level. So just to understand, you're participating in a network with all these other people, and everything that goes on is serving everybody in some good way. Your brother says hi to you, though, because he's been waiting for me to shut up, and I'm like, really? You have to tell me to shut up? So
he's a wise guy. He's a funny guy.
I'm like, he's pretty forward. It's like, it's because he's just like, Joe, I'm just waiting for you to shut up, and I'm just like, fine, I will do that. Shut up so we could talk through me. But your brother says that he's, heaven. He never believed he would be in heaven, but as a starting point. It's like, holy crap, all this is real. It's like everything that he's ever been told is real. Like, yes, it is real. But he also appreciates that you speak to him. He says a lot. He says, Joe, she's always wondering where I am, always pointing me out and just saying, like, I think I feel you. Is that you? And he says, yeah, it's me. It's like,
Oh, I do get that.
because he says, I've learned how to pop into the room, because they have to learn how to interact with us. And so he says, I learned and I'm doing it, and she's picking up on me because he's like, Joe, she can do the psychic thing as well. So she feels everything. So
Yeah.
he's excited because it's almost like playing telephone with him.
Yeah.
So
He plays with my radio. Yeah. Yeah.
Which
And
is-
I woke up at 444 with song lyrics in my head that specifically kind of spelled out like there's hope at the end of the light, because I was wondering that. And I
Yes.
think it was him.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Because just also understand, like, now let's say the number 444 now means something to you. So now it is going to be everywhere, because now you're bringing it to you. But it's a sign of positive transformation, which is what you're experiencing right now. At the moment, it may not be completely pleasant, but it's 444 just represents, like, you're changing things up. As I said, you created the foundation, and the angels are around you, helping you with everything. So you got nothing to worry about, because you're a strong and resilient person. Like, I don't think you have anything. You're on the right track, is I think what I'm ultimately getting at.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, my
you're-
job is going great. I love my job. I love my work. And I was in TV production for a while, and I have another idea that I was kind of toying with. And I have people close friends that I told the idea to, and I wish I didn't, because they're like, do it. And I'm like, I have to do it because I'm taking care of mom later. I can't do it now.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's
Well, there
Do-
goes
do
the
you
timer.
see
So
that?
let's see what Joe gets and there goes,
okay.
because
I do want to add, like, mom's not going anywhere, so please don't worry about that right now. She needs assistance, but she's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And because
you.
your brother says she's still going to be her sassy self, so your mom's sassy. And your mom doesn't like help. She wants to do everything herself. So as best as you can, let her do whatever she can, but the rest has to be helped with. But she's not transitioning to the other side anytime soon,
Oh, good to know.
if that was a concern. But please just know you're on the right track.
Thank you.
And too, Joe, I've always been told the consecutive numbers, especially 444, like your frequency is going up. So of course the husband, just like Joe said, there was the theme in this Zoom, that you can't coexist if you're not on the same frequency. You're saying that in the beginning. And if you're going up and you're in 444 land and he's down here at 273, or who knows, it's just not a match. And so you will be guided to the match. Same with the job thing. And also I'm feeling like, don't share your secrets, because unfortunately in the world that we come from with broadcasting and production, there's a lot of scared people that that just take ideas. Like, when it's right, it'll be right. You know what I mean? Like, but don't.
Yeah.
Joseph, I mean, isn't it true in production? A lot of people just kind of take ideas and run with them, and then the next thing you know, you're
Yes.
like, wait a minute. But
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You've
I
got
had
the
something
angels.
taken by Dateline, and they aired a small segment of a TV show that I was producing, and then they spun off and even had part of my name in there. So
yeah.
and you can't fight NBC. So
Wow. Well, you can, but it's pricey. We'll have to talk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we all get together,
Right?
and,
There we go.
Yeah.
and maybe do something that they're not gonna like.
Yeah, no kidding. Well,
I'm
yeah, we're
joking.
gonna stay in that high vibe frequency, but all right, everybody. I'm so glad you were all here.